Good morning. Well, it's a sunny day, so the sun coming in may change the way things look, and I'm going to resist the temptation to put these sunglasses on so I don't offend you. But I think I estimate that I've probably met with somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 small businesses in the Triangle area over the course of the last 15 years. And that may be a conservative estimate. That would be if I met with 2 a week, 100 a year. Over the last 13 years I've been doing this full time. 2 years before that I was doing this while I was in school. So I've had a lot of conversations with small business decision makers and marketers, and the question I always ask, it always comes up, is, so what's the most effective? How do you find people the most? Where do most of your people come from? And the answer is almost universally the same. And it's, well, word of mouth is our number one source. That's the very typical response. Word of mouth is our number one source of referrals. That's where most of our business comes from. Okay, well, that's probably true. I think word of mouth is the most effective form of marketing. And it has been said that the internet puts word of mouth marketing on steroids, because people now have conversations with people times 100 or 1,000 if they're researching, who to use for something, or what store to go to, or what product to buy. And so social media plays a big part of that, but also online reviews is a huge part of that. And so there've been studies out that say, when they rank, what has the most influence on someone's decision-making process for who to shop with or what to buy. One thing that's always been true, and the numbers vary, but the stats always kind of show the same thing, which is online reviews are more important to shoppers and consumers than word-of-mouth testimonials from people that they love and trust and know. And you think, well, wait a minute, that's not right. That's absolutely can't be true, because I would trust somebody that I, am very well acquainted with, and I would trust their word over the word of a stranger. But the difference is that when you go online and you read reviews, you have a much larger sample size. You don't have just one review or 2 reviews. You can sometimes find, hundreds of reviews if it's a product. But I have an anecdote, a personal story, where I know that played out in my own life, and I wanted to share that with you. I have my wife and I have 2 little girls, beautiful, happy, little girls that we love. One is she'll be 3 in March, and the other one will be 1 in January. So they're both kind of at that stage where they're difficult, and we're doing our best. We've never done this before. We have 2 little girls, and we're doing our best. I like to say that raising kids is a lot like golf. What I mean by that is, when you think you have it figured out, and you think you finally have found that magic move that's going to work, and you're like, I got this, I got it figured out. That magic move only works for a few holes and stops working, and then you're kind of back to the drawing board, and you say, oh my God, what am I going to do now? So about 6 months ago, I was having lunch with a good friend of mine. This is when we talk about trusted acquaintances. This is somebody that I've been friends with for 12 years. Used to work with him, real good buddies. And we were having lunch, and we were talking about parenting. He's got 2 girls that are a little bit older than mine, but they're about the same age apart. And I was asking for advice. I was seeking, trusted advice from a friend. And he said, we had problems with our girls, and we ended up seeking the advice of a professional. We went and saw a behavior specialist, and they gave us great advice, and they helped us, and things have improved. And to me that was very exciting. I was like, I never thought of asking the advice of somebody that does this day in and day out. And then I started looking into it, and I'm like, you know what? Insurance is going to cover that. It's not going to cost me a lot. I think I'll do that. But, time went on, and I forgot about it. Well, about a month ago, I had a particularly bad drop-off at daycare with the girls, where they were, not happy to see me go, and I thought maybe I could be doing something differently. So I texted my buddy, and I said, what was the name of that person that you met with? And he sent me her name, and he said, found her to be very helpful, and she was convenient to my house and everything. So I was like, all right, I'm on it. We're gonna go see her and ask her for advice and get help. Not that there's anything dire, but just that, you know, I was looking forward to getting some advice. So I type in her name into Google, and I hit search, I see her website, and then I see 8 online reviews, average 1 star out of 5. I thought, well, how could she average 1 star if there's 8 reviews? That means everybody must be giving her 1 star. So before I clicked on her website, I clicked on the reviews, and I found that to be the case. Every person that had rated her had given her 1 star out of 5, and the reviews were insane. They were horrible. I mean, words like, "May this woman rot in hell for what she's done to my family." And I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped. And not all of them were that bad, but they were all real bad. So I made the decision right then and there. You know what? These girls are just going through a phase. No big deal. I got this. I'm not going to go see a professional. So I closed that window and moved on with my life. And if you think about what is the lifetime value of a customer in that industry, so I would go in and my insurance would cover that doctor's visit, and I would pay a $30 copay, but you know, they're going to make a couple $100s on each visit. Probably going to want to see us regularly, probably over the course of a year. You know, it's probably worth 4 figures times a lifetime of raising kids. They may have lost out on a $10,000 to $20,000 lifetime customer value right there because of bad, really bad reviews. But I look back at it and I think, you know, a trusted friend of mine had really great things to say and said it was very helpful. But when that sample size increased and I had all of that data, there was no way I was going to call them. So the question is there anything you can do about that? And I'm not talking about just combating bad reviews, but building good reviews. And the answer is yes, there is a strategy, there is a game plan. It's actually not that hard. It's pretty simple. I wanted to share it with you, but I'm going to save that for the next episode, not to hold out on you, but because we're already at over 7 minutes. And I'm trying to keep these videos short. So to do it right and explain it the right way, I'm gonna save that for the next episode of OverDrive. But I just wanted to share with you today why I think online reviews are the most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to digital marketing.